came into play today. And in a close game, it's going to come back to bite you, and it did today. We had our opportunities, but we didn't take advantage of them. So you have to, credit Evansville. Evansville found a way to get it done, and they fought hard, and we didn't do enough to deserve to win, and it's disappointing. I hate that's the way that we've had such a long layoff, and we come back and I just didn't feel like we played very well. And when that happens, you're going to get beat, and it's just unfortunate.
Even though it's just a one-game thing, you see a guy like Corey had the game he did as a right off the bat. Does that already kind of get you thinking, hey, I need to move this guy up in the lineup? Some you just kind of wait now and just kind of see what happens the rest of this weekend.
Well, we all knew that Corey's going to be a middle of the order hitter. There's no question about it. And just as a freshman, sometimes you don't want to put him right there in that 3 hole to begin with. But yeah, he's going to hit in the middle of the order, no question about it. And we're going to see 2 lefties the next 3 games, but he's going to hit. There's no question about it. So, I'm happy for him and excited for him. And he's a very mature kid for being just 19 years old. So he's got a really good presence about him, and he's going to have a great career in the red black.
Cole Tate okay?
Yeah, he's cramping up.
Okay.
Just straight calf cramps, and for whatever reason, it's a long day. These guys get out here and they take batting practice, and they go to class, and then they take batting practice and in and out. And so he was just a little dehydrated, and we'll have to get the fluids back in him and really monitor him tomorrow.
Oh, thanks.
Davis Baker.
Yeah, Coach, basically 11 and a half months without a game. Did you think you guys were overly anxious today?
Possibly. I mean, both teams are in the same boat. I mean, Evansville, they had the same layoff too. And, we told our players about that. These guys they've been indoors and they've had some really tough weather the last couple of weeks. So they were going to be extremely excited to play and play with kind of some reckless abandon with nothing to lose. And I thought Gray did a good job pitching. He mixed 4 pitches in there for strikes and kept us off balance a little bit. They made plays when they needed to, and their bullpen did a nice job. So, I mean, who knows? I think we were all really anxiously awaiting this day to get here, and it's just disappointing that we didn't play as well as we would have liked to have played.
Jed May.
Hey, Coach. And, seems like there was issues with 2 outs all day long. Evansville scored all their runs after there were 2 outs and nobody on. And then I think it was the 2nd or 3rd inning, Corey Collins makes the last out at 3rd with 2 runners on. Just, how much did that play a role in the game? And for young players like Corey, what do you hope he takes from a play like that in a game like this?
Well, we made 2 outs on the bases today. Corey made the 3rd out at 3rd, which is, cardinal rule of baseball. You don't do it. And he just made a base running mistake. And then we got picked off at first base on a 3-1 count and nobody out. And we're not even running. And we got picked. And, I think he may have been safe, but when you only have 2 cameras to review, you can't overturn it. So it was a close play. It shouldn't have been that close. So we made 2 outs on the bases that were very critical. And then, they scored all 3 of their runs, nobody on, 2 outs, and things are looking pretty good. And next thing you know, that they've got traffic all over the place. So we've got to shut down innings when there's 2 outs. And when we've got 2 outs, we got to find a way to scratch and claw and get a base hit and get an extra base runner.
Just as a follow-up, CJ said that was kind of about pitchers needing to maintain their focus to close out innings. Did you think maybe they lost their focus a little bit, or is it just one of those things that happens in a baseball game?
Well, when innings get long, things happen, and the pitch count went up, and we actually missed a pick with 2 outs. We had a pick on at first, and we didn't pick, and he stole a base, and so that's how that whole thing started. And then we made an error behind him, and CJ walked a couple guys, and just the inning kept getting longer and longer, and he minimized the damage. He did a really good job. But what happened was we had to go to the bullpen at least an inning sooner than we wanted to, because the pitch count spiked in that inning. So we just got to get better, and we've got to make plays behind him. We've got to have better at bats, all around. We've got to play better than that. And there's no question about it. There's no secret to that. And we're a better team than what we showed today, but we've got nothing left to do but show up tomorrow and get ready to compete.
Thanks.
Lance McCurley.
I'm good. Thank you.
William.
Hey, Coach. Yeah, I was a bit surprised when Ben Harris came out after CJ. Just seems like he has similar stuff. Also a lefty. What was the thinking behind that, and how do you think your lefties are going to fare this weekend after what you've seen today?
Well, we got a ton of lefties. First of all, I thought Ben Harris was really good, and we got to 2 strikes. And Ben's a fastball pitcher. He's got a breaking ball, but he's mostly a fastball guy. And we got to 2 strikes on that right-handed hitter, and then we just made a decision. Darren Pascal was a guy that's really, really tough on a right-handed hitter. So he's got 2 strikes, and now he's got to face a new guy that he's never seen before in a tough situation with 2 strikes. So Darren came in and struck that guy out, and then struck the next guy out too. So yeah, Benny was throwing well, but we had Darren right there waiting. If we got to 2 strikes, we talked about it, that we were going to bring him in to finish that at bat. So I'm glad it worked out, and that won't be the last time that we do that.
Thanks.
We got time for 1 or 2 more questions for Coach. You guys got any?
Coach, I just want to ask tomorrow about Luke and Jade and getting their first opportunity tomorrow. Just kind of what you've seen from them and what led to them getting these starts tomorrow afternoon.
Well, I think we all know Ryan Webb and Jonathan Cannon
Yeah.
kind of led to them getting starts,
Sure.
but they're really talented, and they've earned it. Probably one of these freshmen was going to start this weekend, and I don't know who that was going to be, but with Ryan and Jonathan, still on the mend, and we expect to have Ryan back next weekend in a capacity, and then Jonathan probably the weekend after. So we're getting back to full strength. So these 3 freshmen are getting the starts. Number 1, because they deserve it, but number 2, because there's opportunities that are there. So I'm excited for them. I know they're excited. They're really talented players. Both are good athletes, and with 3 pitches for strikes, and they bring a lot of enthusiasm. So we're all excited to see those 2 guys get after it. And then we got another freshman on Sunday, Charlie Goldstein. So we're going to need these guys. And when Ryan and Jonathan Cannon and Michael Polk and Logan Moody, and when all those guys come back, all these guys that are getting this experience, it's going to help us down the road.
Jack Gallen's aggressiveness today, he really came out, really threw very well. Boy, that's got to make you feel pretty good today about what he did. Yeah,
really happy for Jack. And, he's a 3rd-year player that, came in here with some expectations to be a kind of a lockdown guy out of the pen. And he just struggled to find himself a little bit in those first couple of years, which isn't unusual. And it doesn't click all the time right away, but he's a really hard worker. He's a great kid, and he deserves that. So I'm really happy for him. I know our players are happy for him. I mean, he's a team favorite. Everybody loves him. So and he went out there and did his job, gave us a chance to win. And I thought Darren did too. Ben, all 3 guys out of the pen, I thought did a great job and gave us a chance to win. The pitching gave us that chance, and just offensively, we've got to find a way to scratch at least one more run. Heck, we might still be playing.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Oh, never mind. Thanks, Coach.
We good?
Go ahead, William. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna ask.
Yep, thank you, Coach.
Good, William.
Okay, is the DH gonna be a spot early on where we're going to see more freshmen? Do you think, or maybe we'll see Corey Collins get in that catcher? Maybe Parks Harbison, these guys get in the field as well.
Well, you're going to see Parks play first base tomorrow against the left-handed pitcher, Cronin, and Corey. You're going to see him DH a lot. There's no question. He's going to get a lot of at bats, and we got to find ways to get him in to catch as well. But his bat is going to play. I think he's going to play in the big leagues because he can really, really hit. And as a catcher, he's got a lot of skill, and it just needs to be refined a little bit. So, Fernando, I'm happy Fernando got that hit in his 4th at bat. It's a tough debut when you're a freshman, you get thrown into the fire like that. It doesn't always go as easy and as well as you want it to, but, he fought hard, and I'm proud of him, and he's going to be a great player for us. So getting some of these guys' feet wet, and we're just going to keep getting better and keep working.